First, I have to empty the water. So, because this water you can tell is a little gross. I'm gonna rinse them a little bit because they smell. So, here's some rinsing that's gonna happen. So now that they have been washed and drained a little bit, they look pretty good. You can see they look different. Let's see if I can focus on this. They look different from last time. They're bigger and the seeds are wet, and you can start to see this little stem right here. This is where the root's gonna come out of, or the white part before photosynthesis happens. This is actually where things start to get interesting, because if you remember yesterday, they were dark brown and you couldn't see this. They're a little less wrinkly, still wrinkly, but less than before. And now I have this container here. It is a takeout box. It's clear, so it's hard to see. I'm basically going to line the bottom of the container with paper towel, and I'm just going to sit these in. So let's do that. They're laid out like this pretty nicely, nothing fancy. The only thing you want to keep in mind though is if you smell them, obviously you can't smell through video, but if you smell them, they actually smell nice. They smell appetizing. We want to keep that because once they start smelling bad, we know there's been too much bacterial growth. So I'm just going to soak these in some water so they can sit, and I'll leave them like this. Just so that the paper towel is damp. I'm not going to actually soak paper towel. And if the paper towel is damp, I'll leave them like this until they keep growing, and I'll update you on their progress. Okay, thank you. I forgot to add that at the end what I do is I typically take a paper towel, I wet it, squeeze it so it's not like completely soaking, and then what I'll do is I'm going to lay it out over the top. I'll show you what it looks like. I'll lay it out over the top just to keep the moisture inside of there, so I'll show you. See, so it looks like this, and every day I'll just go through the cycle where the paper towel that was at the top, once it's dried out, I just put it on the bottom, get a new paper towel to put on top. Uses quite a bit of paper towel, but it's worth it because they usually end up clean in the end. And if not once a day, twice a day is even better, but once a day probably will do, so yes. It's November 17th, so it's been 2 days since I first put the peas in these trays with paper towels and water, and look, they already have the stems, or the roots growing out of the bottom. It's November 18th, and they've started to mold, unfortunately. I'm going to keep rinsing them with cold water. It's because I went a couple days without checking on them, which I shouldn't have done, but hopefully I can get them to recover. It is 11/19, so November 19th today, and it's just not a good day for pea plants. We think rabbits are eating them. You can see there are no leaves left at all, almost at all. This one is just stems. So the next batch we're not going to plant in the garden. We're just going to plant them in pots and leave them outside because this is outrageous. But they seem to only like the garbanzo beans because the regular peas are doing okay, surprisingly. They're still limpy, but they're not dead. So I'm holding on to these as my last hope, but if not, my second to last hope was going to be the new batch I started upstairs, which unfortunately I let them mold. So hopefully I can rescue them, or I'm going to have to start a third one. Alright, thank you.